Hello, this is Conrad again from Grumpy Old Geezer Boxing. I promised, yes, I did promise, we're going to talk about the hook. Because I always deliver on my promises, or most of the time anyway. Specifically, the left hook. And do you throw your hook like this with a vertical fist, or do you throw it like that, like with your palm down? Which one is right? Which one should you do, or which should you try? Let's find out, let's get to it, but also let's talk about how to get some speed and pop into it. Because if I can, man, I'm not young anymore, then I know you can. All right? So without further ado, let's go. All right, the hook. Now, the hook is mega important. I think it's probably actually the second most important punch. A lot of people talk about, there's the jab, obviously, and then you got the straight right, bam, or your backhand, if you're a southpaw, it'd be your left, straight down the pipe. And sure, that's a super important punch, that number 2, right? I'm going to tell you, a lot of people can throw that punch if they're boxing all. They may not throw it pretty, it may be sloppy, it may set them up to get hit, but they can get something on it. They kind of grew up with, they hit their little brother, they played Batman or watched Batman and Robin, whatever, right? Not the slap, but I mean just the punches in Batman, right? But then there's the hook, and the hook is not easy to do. It's not easy for people to master, right? That's why you hear about the legendary guys with their left hooks, because there's not that many guys that can really do it well. The problem is that you get into how you do it, and especially it seems like more recently, whether it's YouTube or whatever, people talk about that there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it this way, right? Or you can do it kind of the traditional, let's say more old-fashioned way, which is like with your palm down. So there it is, vertical or down. Now, I see lots of guys on YouTube, coaches, whatever, and they're teaching guys to do it with their fist vertical like that. And even for somebody who's new, it's true. You can feel like you get some power on it. You got your chin down here, so you're protected, right? Okay, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not your coach. I'm not arguing with the coach. I'm not trying to be your coach. I'm just trying to, be helpful as like an older guy who is trying to give you some little tips that might help. But if you just learn this method, and you don't learn this method, you're actually taking a valuable weapon out of your arsenal. And you say, well, how? Well, I'll tell you how. What you're taking out of your arsenal is that short, chopping left hook. You will see fighters knock people out and with this short, just bam, and they're like, oh man, how do you do that? Now you say, well, why am I taking it out of my arsenal? I'll just do it like this. No, you won't. No, you won't. And here's why. I want you let's just go through this, and don't get mad yet. Don't get mad. Just keep an open mind. Let's line up like that. Now, imagine that you got a guy's face right here. That's the side of his head, okay? And you want to do the Bruce Lee 1-inch punch, okay? Try to do it like that. Try to get your guard, your inner guard from here, and to do that. Just try to do it. You tell me if you can get anything on it. I don't believe you. Even if you imagine like your little brother's right here, you're going to conk him on the head, bink, you try to do it like that. There's not enough time, there's not enough room, and your arm, your shoulders just don't function that way. I'm not saying you can't get some power, but look what I had to do. I have to cock it back, okay? Now do the same thing. Imagine here's the face, and I know you can do this. Don't pretend you can't do this. Get like this, and then you're just going to turn it over fast. Pop! Now you didn't see a difference. You saw it. You felt a difference. You know that you might not knock someone out with it, but it's going to, you might give them a black eye. You hurt them with it, right? If your little brother was standing here, not saying to hit your little brother, but somebody, like some little troll standing here, that you go bing, and you can pop them on the head harder, pop, like with a pop slap, than if you can just go like that. You just can't get anything on it, right? Maybe because we're hitting our little brothers, that's why our arms work that way. I don't know. But how do you get used to it? How do you get where you can actually use this and apply it? Because I know what you're going to say, because everybody's been there. You go to the gym and you try to learn the old-fashioned way, turning your fist over on the bag. Man, I look terrible. I'm weak. I can't get any hits. I can't hit it. I'm tweaking my wrist. Everybody's laughing at me. First of all, it doesn't matter if everybody's laughing at you or not. If you're in the gym and you're working on the bag, trying something new, and you're not good at it, well, you're trying something new. You're not supposed to be good at it. Now, some people will be, but Anyway, if somebody thinks that you're weak or you bite at boxing, you might surprise them. It's a ruse. Think of it that way. But just don't think about it, right? You're training to get better yourself. When you spar with them, they might find out that, oh, you learned something. But what do? How are you going to get where you feel comfortable throwing this type of punch instead of the cockback, right? Here's why. But actually, before we even do that, one more thing. Did you see what I just did? If we're in a guard, right, and we're close, and boxing is a matter not even inches, of millimeters, milliseconds, right? And we're boxing, and I want to get you with that left hook, but look what happens. No matter how I try this to get my arm in a horizontal position and hit you, I've got to come out. See how I leave my way open? I can turn like that and then come back and hit you, but I got to be fast. But if you're like this, I don't have to cock out really, and I don't even have to leave myself very open. I can literally, with almost no movement, bam, I can turn it into you. I might not knock you out, but I can get something on it. But if I slip something even this far, bam, I can get something on it. Where if I slip it this far and I try to do it, I still got to I'm still leaving myself open for something straight down the pipe. If you don't agree with me, okay. This is just mechanics, okay? You keep throwing them like that, but give yourself another weapon. Now, how are you going to get used to it? Okay. The first thing to do is don't worry about being sharp with it in the beginning. People, especially in boxing, they're like, man, make sure that when you throw it, it's sharp. Is it straight? Is it straight? Is it straight? I showed you how to get the straight jab without thinking about it. The key is to find ways to make stuff work where you can be loose, right? A loose, straight jab. Loose. Don't be tense. You can't do anything tense in boxing. This is hard to do without getting tense. It's just, you got to get your shoulder up. This can be hard to do without getting tense too if you get too uptight about it. So what do? Line up like this. Think about when we did the jab. And I'll back the camera out and show you this. But the toe twitch, but then turn your knee, turn your hip, your shoulders got to catch up, and then you threw that jab. Remember that? If you don't, go back to that first video. Or just go watch it and like me and friend me or whatever you do on subscribe. Now, this is the same thing, but let's be loose. Toe, knee, hip, shoulder catching up. I don't care if it's wide right now. Forget about being wide. Then turn it over. Make it easier. Give it a little bit of a cock on this one. Cock it back. Toe, knee, hip, turn it over. I'm going to show you the toes, knees, and hip in a minute. Right now, I want you to just focus on my arm, because this is where people, they try to do their arm first. I want you to just imagine this, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to start doing something like this. Just bing. So you're just going to keep swinging it out. Swing then to the toe, then the knee, then the hip, then the shoulder. Let me just do it. And then you turn it down. Go ahead and exaggerate and get that elbow up. Well, maybe not that far, but you get what I mean. So bop. Just swing it out. It's okay if it's loose. Swing it out. At the last, so when you do it, you swing it out. Your shoulder's the last thing. Your arm's catching up. And then turn it over. Okay? So swing it out and turn it over. You just do that. Okay? You just do that. And it doesn't matter. Let's do it sloppy. I don't even care right now. Sloppy. I just want to get to feel that elasticity in there. Then later, you're going to sharpen it up. Okay? After you get where you feel what I'm talking about, that looseness, right? Then you can start sharpening it up. I'm doing it slow though, okay? So toe, knee, hip, shoulder, turn that hand down. So see, I'm not doing anything like I'm just letting my arm be loose, okay? Toe, knee, hip, turn it down. Toe, knee, hip, turn it down. What will happen is you will get where that becomes quick, okay? You'll get where even if, you can't see my whole body right now, but even if you're in there and somebody got right up on you and you just went pop, that came from my feet. It came from my toe, my knee, my hip, my shoulder. When you saw that little clip at the beginning of the video and you saw me, I do a 1, 2, 3 on the double-ended bag, bam, bam, and then I turned around and I got it with that left hand. Lots of guys can't do that. They're young guys. For sure they're quicker than me, but they can't do it because they're not throwing first of all, they're not throwing a proper hook, but second of all, they don't have that looseness to enable them to get that speed, okay? They can't get that speed. Look, now let's move the camera out so we can look at our feet, talk about a couple other things here. Okay, I've gotten way back over here so you can see my feet, okay? Now, let's just look at what I was talking about, okay? This is, the key is to get, more than anything, even more than your arms, twist, you got to twist, get that looseness. You can even practice like that in the beginning to see what I mean, to make sure that shoulder's lagging back. Don't worry about being tight. Now get in your guard. We'll go slow. You can see my feet, right? Twist with the toe, twist with the knee, shoulders lag, and then you're going to turn it down. In the beginning, you can even point your fingers in the beginning. So, ba, ba, toe, knee, hip, point it down, cock it back. Just get it so it's loose. Right now, you're just kind of whipping it, right? Cock it back. We're going to do this on the bag. Later, you'll be able to tighten it up, right? You'll be able to tighten it up. Bam, right? You'll be hearing bam, right? Bam. And you can tilt your head into your ear too. Right now, I'm just maybe going to get too loose. See? Bam, bam. Turn it down. Knee, toe, knee, hip, bam, bam. You see? Pop. You'll get that pop. Cock it back. Now go back. Loosen it up again. Now, that's the basic. I hope you saw my feet. Right, you see it? Okay, now, there is another thing that you can do that we'll show you. We're going to go out to the heavy bag, and I'll check it out. But one of the things, and this was uncanny, is when I was a young guy, I had a couple of Mexican friends, and they were going for golden gloves, and their dad was training, and I would go work out with them. Not that he was really interested in training me, but I think he just couldn't look at me when I was doing something terrible. And one of the first things he said to practice was, and this is going to sound crazy at first, right, is a double jab, then a hook, and then a straight right. You say, well, man, if you don't really have the mechanics down, what are you doing throwing a double jab, then a hook off that? But did you see what it did? Right? So, and when you throw a jab with intentions, you want to really pop it out there. That's one thing. When you're throwing a double jab, you're not going to go all the way out and all the way back. It's a double jab, and then you're trying to finish the combo. Okay? So, what happens? Double jab. I'm getting a toe twitch, knee in there. I don't have to turn my toe in on this right now, though. But a double jab, but then I got to get that hook up. Then I do have to turn. I got to turn my heel, and then I can throw, and I'm back, and I can throw that right hand. But look what happens when I do that. I'm going jab, jab, but then I gotta, if I'm gonna get that hook around, I've got to do what we've been practicing. I've got to, right? So jab, jab, hook it, then come back. Jab, jab, hook it, then come back. You see what happens? I've got to have that looseness to get that elasticity and that snap in there, and I got to turn my knee. So if you're in here, jab, jab, hook, punch. Do you see how natural that actually is? It seems like it wouldn't be, and I don't think it will be if it's like this. Jab, jab, uh-oh, I got to get vertical punch and then throw it. Now, I'm not saying some guys might be able to do that, but it doesn't feel natural to me. So one more time, look at this. We're going to, one more time, stand up so you see my feet, right? So we're here. Turn it in, let that shoulder lag behind. Again, we can do it like this. Let that shoulder lag behind. Tighten it up just a little bit. Tighten it up. Now, go back. Jab, jab, hook, punch straight right to the middle. Jab, jab, hook, punch right to the middle. Jab, jab, hook, punch. You see that? That is not hard for me to do. And I'm old. Man, I'm 53. I'm not like you. I know you guys are probably younger than me. Okay? So now let's go down. I'm going to set up the heavy bag in the white trash gazebo from hell in my neighbor's yard. And we're going to show how you practice actually on the bag and where you even hit on the bag so you don't immediately tweak your wrist and you get some work in and it makes sense. Okay, here we are in the white trash gazebo from hell. Sorry about the way it looks and everything, the camera angle. It's the only place I can put the camera where you can see me because of the light. But we're going to go through some of the stuff we talked about, okay? Now, I'm not super warmed up, but that's okay, because in the beginning you don't have to be that super warmed up, but you do need to have your shoulders warmed up. Now, what did we talk about? First of all, we want to practice getting this hook turned over. So how do we do it? Just like what I explained in the war room. Get up here on the bag, okay? Get up here on the bag right now. Right now, this is easy, okay? Just you cock it out, and then you turn in. When you turn in, you turn your elbow, but it's loose, so you can be loose, right? So just pop. See that? Just just it's good if you have a friend to hold the bag right for you, but that's okay. You see what I'm talking about? Just loose up, pop. Now remember what we talked about? I'm going to show you when we talked about if you have like the 1-inch punch, okay? Now. This is why we do this. Now look, if I'm here and I try to turn, look how much power I get when I try to turn my fist like that. I mean, I can't even, I mean, that was cheating a second ago with no cocking. See, that's pretty bad. Now, no cocking, and right there. I'm going to just turn it down like this. You see that? There is a difference. And I'm just turning my arm down. See that? See how far the bag went? Now, I'm not going to knock somebody out with it. But look here. Now, here we go. If I just come out this far, right? Just that much, right? That's all I did. I had no movement. I wasn't moving around. I had no momentum. That's why we do this. So let's go back to the drill. Come out. Just let your arm get loose. Your knee. I'm sorry I can't show you my feet and knees on here. One day, when the plague is over, we can do this in a gym. But, so, cock it out. Keep your guard up. Toe, knee, hip, shoulder, legs, back, and then bam. Don't try to put anything on it right now. Cock it out. Shoulder, knees, hips, bam. Turn it over. See, turn it over flat. Do it again. Bam. Let's do it again. Bam. Let's do it again. See, I'm already getting something on it. I'm not even trying. Bam. Right? Now, the next thing you do is after you feel like you're getting somewhere, okay, and you don't feel like you can hurt your wrist, because in the beginning you can tweak your wrist, okay, but this is not medical advice. Do not do any of this stuff take it as medical advice. Take a step back, a little further back, okay, get your wrist a little bit more used to it. Now the same thing, knee, hip, shoulder last, turn it over, just get used to it. Bam, turn it over, just get used to it. Bam, turn it over, just get used to it. Step a little further back. Look where I am now. I don't have a problem with reaching somebody, right? Here we go. Step out. Bam. See that? Twisted my whole body. So, again, I cock it a little bit for the sake of the exercise. Toe, knee, hip, bam. Okay. Then you can even get where you take it even further back, okay? So, I'm not really warmed up, but anyway. Here we go. So, toe, knee, hip, bam. I'm still getting something on it. I'm just not doing that light. Later, after you get used to this, after you get used to what we're talking about, you need to learn how to tighten these things up. So, even if you're, pop, 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 short punches. We're not going to practice that right now because, like I told you in the war room, right now we want to get this feeling that you got this elasticity. Later, sure, you can even practice you don't have to do it hard. You can practice pop, 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 pop. Short little punches, right? You can just that twist, bam, right? But that's not what this is about. Let's just get the feeling right now. Get the feeling. Later, like you can make them longer, you can make them shorter, okay? But let's go back to what we were just talking about and just get that looseness and get used to it. Now, once you get where you are feeling more confident with it, and you want to put something on it, okay, start, instead of hitting the center of the bag, which you're just doing right now just for the sake of getting this looseness down, get used to turning it over, try to aim for the front part of the bag. So if you can look on the camera here, instead of hitting in the center, hit kind of more on here in this front part of the bag. The reason is this is about longevity. If you sprain your wrist or you hurt your hands because you're not ready yet, you're not going to do any training, right? Okay, so let's not do that. But as you get where you're getting a little bit, you feel a little bit more confident, and make sure when you do that twist that you put this other hand up. You usually get a lot more speed on it if you pull it back with this other hand. It's not that different from the jab, okay? It's the same type of thing. So you're pulling and really you're pulling onto your back foot, okay? So now I'm going to aim a little bit more towards the front. I'm going to put just a tiny bit more on it because I was going like that. I was just cocking out, turning it over. Now I'm going to come out and I'm going to step a little bit further back in, okay? You see that? I had no movement, no momentum, and I still got something on that punch. Now later, you're going to start doing combos. When you do the combos, bam, bam, again, aim for kind of the front part of the bag, okay? But you'll be able to see that you'll be able to get off quicker combos because you're turning it over. So, right? Now, what's the next thing we do? Just like what we talked about in the war room. Practice a 1-1-2 straight. The reason why is because that 1-1 into the 2 makes you come out and do that same turnover, get your arm flat. So I'll do this slow. So we're out here with the jab. 1-1, cock it out. So let me do that right. 1-1, cock it out, bam, okay? Do it a little slow. 1-1, cock it out, bam, 2, okay? Because we don't bring our hand all the way back on a fast 1-1-2 because there's no time. That's the point. You don't want to give the other guy time, right? But now, look what happens. If I do it a little bit faster, I've got to get this hand out and turn it over, otherwise I can't do the punch. So, pop, 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 okay? Now, if we do it just a little bit faster than that, you know, as you get some speed, see, oh man, that wasn't hard. That's easy. But it's because I'm turning my shoulder over and I'm getting this toe, knee, hip, shoulder twist. One more time. I'll do it slow. Pop, 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 pop. Now I'll do it one more. Now I'll do it fast. Okay? So, and I did some sorry jabs there. Let me do that again. Okay? Now you see. Okay? You see what you can do. Again, I'm old. I'm 53. You can do this. You can do this. You can learn this. Now, you can still hit people with this. Right? And when you're really far away, like I said, that might be the thing to do. Floyd, you'd see Floyd and Canelo, they'll kind of sometimes go out and cuff people, right? There's a place for different punches. But you do want to get this, turn this over and get it into your arsenal. Okay, we're clear? I hope so. I hope so. Practice slow, get used to that looseness, and you will make progress and you'll get some speed, okay? The next thing you can do after that is get out and start working on the double bag. We'll do a special double bag kind of tutorial explanation how I approach the double bag and how you get some speed anyway, alright? Alright, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you're getting some speed and some looseness into your hooks, and I hope you haven't tweaked your wrist yet because this is not medical advice. Don't try to make it so. However, I will tell you, don't ever do jumping jacks. Do some curls after your workouts, protect your elbows, and apart from that, stay tuned for other shows. I'm going to talk about the jab, but getting it back. How are you going to get it back fast? How are you going to teach yourself to get it back fast in the future? One of these shows anyway. In the meantime, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your friend down at the gym who's having trouble with this hook to watch this, or don't tell him. Save it for yourself. I hope I see you soon though. Bye-bye.